Did you know that there are over 29 quintillion different options? There's this many. Look at it, look at how many zeros there are. Hey there, so today we're in our how-to series and we're gonna tell you about how to make a Minecraft firework. So to start off with, what is a Minecraft firework? That's where you take the firework rocket and it blows up in the sky and has all these different colors and it's awesome and amazing. But you're thinking to yourself like, okay, well, I could just make a firework rocket and that's fine. But did you know that there are over 29 quintillion different options? There's this many. Look at it, look at how many zeros there are. That's that many zeros representing how many different firework options, and we're gonna talk about a few today. So let's jump right in. In our game here, we're gonna show that you can have different types of die, you can have different sets of firework charges in order to make your firework rocket. So what is the recipe for this? Let's start off with, well, you're gonna need some gunpowder, you're probably gonna need some paper, you're gonna need some dyes, and that's the good starting point there. In order to make your firework charge, which is the first step, you're going to need to put gunpowder with your dyes as you see fit, and any extra added effects that you want to go in the firework as well. We'll talk a bit more about that in just a second. Next up, once you've got that firework charge, you could choose to add in more dyes that would add fade colors to go into those different sections, or you could choose to just leave it as it is. We'll try different ways as we go throughout this process. Once you have that firework charge, you're gonna add in one sheet of paper as well as some gunpowder. You can choose to add in 1, 2, or 3 gunpowders to describe how high in the sky is it gonna go before it explodes. 1 gunpowder means it has a very short fuse, 2 gunpowders, a little bit longer fuse, and 3 will be up in the sky. So let's jump in. You can see here in our hotbar, we have some dyes, gunpowders, and things like that. So let's go ahead and open up our crafting table. We are going to add in, let's say, I wanna use some green dye, maybe some white dye, and then I've got my gunpowder. We're gonna add in one of those, and you'll notice how now we have a fireworks star. And we could take that, and that's good enough. We'll save that in an inventory for now, but that's just a regular old fireworks star. That's just boring. We can make it better. We can make it bigger. So let's do that. Let's take 1 green dye. Let's add that in there. Let's add in 1 white dye. Okay, good, still with me. Then we're going to add in some gunpowder. Hey, this is the same thing as before, but now you'll notice I have some other things in my inventory as well. These are awesome, cool effects that can do different things. Let's run through those. If you want to use just the normal firework charge, that's going to make a small ball explosion. If you want to add in this fire charge that I've got here, you could add that in there. You'll notice that the effect changes to a large ball. That makes it a bigger explosion. Or maybe you want this to be a little bit different shape, okay? So you could add in a gold nugget, like I've done here, and you notice how it says star-shaped instead as the explosion type. We'll go through and I'll show you a couple different options, but this is one of my favorites for sure. So if you have one, I know these are kind of rare, but you could get a zombie head and you could add that, a couple different heads work, also a skeleton head. You could add in that zombie head into your crafting and then you get a creeper shaped one. Doesn't matter what kind of head that you add in there, it's always going to be a creeper shaped outline, okay? If you have a feather, that's our last change that we can do to this. You add in the feather, well, what does that do? You'll notice how it says burst. That makes a nice big explosion as well. Personally, I think this is pretty good. We're gonna do the green dye with the gunpowder and then the feather. And then we're gonna grab that fireworks star. That is halfway done. Next up, we need to bring that fireworks star back into our crafting table. We can either add in some extra dyes if we want it to fade to a different color, or we could just go ahead and start working towards our firework rocket. Let's go ahead and do that now. So we're going to grab our gunpowder and we're gonna add it in here. We're also going to add in our paper. And you notice that's ready to make a firework rocket. It says flight duration 1 because I've only added in 1 gunpowder. It also says that it's a burst with green and white. Now, if you wanted to make this a little bit cooler as well, you could add in, I don't know if you want to use this because they're kind of rare, you could add in a diamond when you're making your firework charge. So let's say that we add in a diamond or we went to add into our glowstone dust. These things would add in different colors and we could do different things with them. For example, the glowstone dust has like a nice little twinkle in the sky. You can see an effect here shown. You also can add diamonds. Diamonds have like a nice trail effect as they kind of go like that, right? And then if you wanted to, you could add both at the same time and that would have you an awesome effect too. But for now, we want to
Save our precious resources. I only have so many diamonds. They're difficult to obtain for, okay?
So let's go ahead and we'll take that out for now. We're just gonna have our firework charge. We're gonna add in, I want a nice tall explosion, so we're gonna add in 3 gunpowders. Bam, okay, we got that. And then we're gonna add in 1 paper. Now, if you hover over your firework rocket, it should say flight duration 3, burst green and white. That's just saying, okay, how high is it gonna go? 3. How is it gonna work? Or how is it going to explode? It's gonna use a burst. And then finally, what colors are we going to expect? Green and white. So go ahead and grab that and let's drop that into our inventory. So you can see I have it on my hotbar right now, and there are a couple different ways that we can launch this. We could either use just a simple push it on the ground and it goes up in the sky, great, boom. Or we could use an enchanted crossbow and we could send it with a multi-shot. That way we would get more fireworks for the same amount of shots. Or we could also put it into a hopper and have it queued up for either, let's say, a pressure plate, or you could use redstone to send it up when you specifically wanted it to. Maybe that's have it at the entrance of your base to let you know, oh, somebody's trying to get into my secret lair, okay? So different ways you can kind of do it. I'm just gonna show you a nice, easy technique of just lighting it off on the ground. So you can go ahead, you have it in your hands, you're just going to right click, and once you do that, it's gonna fly into the sky and have a nice explosion. You can see it from such a far distance as well. You don't have to be right next to it in order to enjoy it. In the meantime, today we covered how to make a firework rocket, how do we send it off, what are the different options that we can do to change it and make it look awesome and cool. You know what, I wanna see what you make. Link me anything either in the comment section below, or you can add us at Instagram at IDTech. I wanna see you hit that 29 quintillion number. I don't know if it's possible, but I believe in you all doing that. Thanks so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos. Have a great rest of your day. Flash out.